For a little while, I was really just over it, over being here, over being a human, over living on earth. I was just over it. I wanted to go home. I wanted to go to my Father. I wanted to go to heaven. And I had such a spiritual awakening. I had such a profound encounter with God that I was just like, I don't mind if you take me home. I am grateful for the family you've given me, for the people you put in my life, for the things you've given me, but I'd rather go home to you. And it's such a bittersweet place to be because, you know, I have a kid. I love that kid to death. I love him. I love him. But being here with all the issues that I had because of the traumas I went through in this life, I was like, I would do a lot better being in heaven with you than being here with him. And even if you take me to heaven, I know you'll be able to take care of him. I know you're going to be able to walk with him and guide him and surround him with people that he needs. And I was being very selfish about it at one point because I was like, I just don't want to be living here in pain. I'd rather just be home with you. I miss you. I miss your love, your comfort. I miss you. You know, and it's such a depth of love that you have from the Father that you're just like, I want to go home. Thank you for the experience. I want to go home. But he talks to you and he helps you understand that this is an experience that you get to have. You know, so being on earth isn't so bad anymore. I love being home. I love my kid. I love my husband. I love my pets. I love where I am. You know, I'm not in the place where I thought I wanted to be, but I am in a perfect place where he has put me. And for so long, I didn't want to share it because like I sound like a lunatic, you know, and I'm a veteran. So I was like, if they're going to put me in the Lulu house if I share any of this. But I think it's time to start sharing our experiences with God. And one of the ones I can tell you is there was a time in my life where I had H. pylori. I was losing a lot of weight. I was really thin. I was hurting. I had cancer cells growing in my cervix. I was like, shit, I was dying. I was like, if you're alive and you're there, you're going to show up and you're going to heal me and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And he showed up. He showed up. He literally showed up, and he filled me with so much love and grace and mercy that I was just like, I don't know why I questioned you, you know. And as I started walking the path with him, I started learning more about the Bible. I started reading more into him. I started learning about him. I did learn that he gave us orders to come to earth. He gave us orders of what we had to do when we were here. But because we had all this trauma happen to us growing up, and we had all this manipulation and control happening, and all this brainwashing through the TVs and the screens and everything, it kind of blocked us away from him. But when we decided to get serious, to get to know him, we start fasting, reading our Bibles, really taking serious the devotionals and everything, and just getting close to him, we remember everything he's given us, all the gifts that we have within us. I had to learn to be grateful for the gifts he gave me. They weren't burdens, they were gifts. And the only reason that I saw them as burdens is because I didn't know how to control them. I didn't know how to use them. I didn't know where to apply them. So I joined the church. And because the church is flawed, it did more hurt to me than help me. Because at the end of the day, I was starting to look at them like the military. Like, you guys just want me for something. You guys want me as a slave. You guys want to use me, and you're not really being children of God. You're being really prideful. You're being very arrogant. So I had church hurt, right? And I had to leave the church. So I started working again and building that relationship with God. And over again, as I'm reading the word, he reminds me that he loves me, that I'm perfect the way that I am, that his love for us does not change. His promises does not change. He will always be there. He will always show up. He never leaves us. And there will be seasons where he's quiet and he leaves us in the wilderness, but it's because he's already given us everything that we need to walk through that wilderness, and we need to trust him. And the reason we don't trust him in the wilderness is because we're not being obedient, we're not being disciplined and eating correctly and reading the Bible, the word, and writing the word and grounding ourselves, because there's so much stuff out here that gets us unbalanced, especially with the human body. It's so delicate, but it's so beautiful and so special the way it works that we just don't know how it works. And when you're in stillness, you get to understand that. You get to understand who you are, how your body works. You get to learn your body. You get to learn yourself. You get to learn who you were before your traumas, who you were before this bad stuff happened, who you were in Christ, right? And it's such a beautiful journey to go through, because people don't want to see it, but we are in the last days. All this shit's happening. We are in the last days. And forgive me for cussing. I've been working on it. And I'm doing so much better now. Believe me, compared to how I was, I'm doing a lot better. But one of the things that I had learned recently from him was that our bodies are like a tabernacle. There's so many rooms, and he allows mildew sometimes in those rooms. Doesn't mean that he allows it to stay there and infest everything, but he allows it for growth, right? Mildew in your body can be like trauma that you're holding on to, hurt that you're holding on to, grief that you're holding on to, anger that you're holding on to, resentment, all that stuff. And it's you holding on to it, and that's the mildew, because it starts to corrupt your character. It starts to corrupt the way that you are with Christ, your journey with Christ, your relationship with Christ, because now instead of being love and abundance and loyalty and truth, you are resentful to some people. You are limited to certain people, and he kind of shows you, that's not who I am, and that's what the world did to you. But if you walk with me, I will pour into you. I will love you. I will renew you. And I think it's such a beautiful step to take, especially if you are a lukewarm Christian, or you're not even a Christian. You're just somebody that's like, okay, I want to know there is a God. There is. And a lot of times you're not going to find him by just simply saying a quick prayer. Sometimes he does it. He'll mind blow you and show up, but a lot of times you have to look for him like he is treasure, and the only time you get to really look for him like he's treasure is when you're put in a situation where you truly need a God in your life to show up and do a miracle, or you're just really on that journey to find him. You really want to find that treasure because you want to believe that it's there, and it is, but we have this world that's against him. We live in a world where there's rulers and principalities that are against God. So they would do everything in their power to control you, manipulate you, make sure that you don't get close to God. You don't build that relationship with God. But let me tell you, when you have a tabernacle, right? Tabernacle is like this big palace with a bunch of rooms, right? Solomon had it, and Noah did it with the ark. There was a lot of rooms. Each room had a specific component to it. Some of them had animals, some of them had beasts, some of them had mildew, some of them had food, some of them had materials. Every room was made for something specific, right? So if you look at your body had something specific. So if you were someone that was supposed to be selfless and something happened in the world, it turned you selfish. So that's mildew already, because that's not of God, that's of the world. And because you try to defend yourself from it to make sure you don't get hurt again, or because you don't want to feel stupid again, or whatever the reason is, that's going to be something that's going to be tainting certain parts of your life, if you will. And he doesn't allow it because he's like, that's what you get, that's what you deserve, like that's what you need to grow. Like, no, it happens, but he shows you, whatever the enemy takes for bad, I will turn for good. Nothing that happens in your life is going to be because that's what you earned, that's what you deserve. No, It's something that happened, unfortunately, but he will turn it all around. He is a loving father, and he will give you everything if you give him the chance. But you have to put in your thing too. You know, you got to put in your part too. And one of the ways I can tell you this is, say you have a puppy, right? You have a puppy and you're trying to teach this puppy to pee outside. And what do you have to do? You have to walk the dog outside, right? You got to constantly be taking him outside, so he can learn to pee there. The same way God kind of does that to us. He puts us in situations where we have to learn to walk with him. We have to learn to walk with him, and we're walking with him by reading the word, by taking that time in stillness, by grounding, by taking that breather, and then not letting the world overwhelm us. You know, over time we learn the word, and then we're able to recite it, we're able to trust it, we learn it, right? Same thing with the puppy. They learn to pee outside. You did your job. You were taking him out, taking her out, and learn how to pee outside. Learn how to pee in a specific spot. And it's not the best example that I have, but it's the example that I have because I have so many pets. And it's learning in that process of going outside that you have to trust that they're gonna use the restroom out there, right? When you're reading the word, you gotta trust that he's gonna talk to you. You gotta trust that he's gonna show up, that he's gonna be there, that he's going to guide you and provide for you. And a lot of people can't do that because they don't see God. They don't see him, and he's not visible, he's not here. But like I said, if you look for him like a treasure, he's been there all along. And a lot of times you're going to beat yourself up because you're going to be like, why didn't I see him earlier? Why couldn't I see him earlier? I could have saved myself from so much pain and anguish and everything. It's okay. You are perfectly where you need to be, and this is a time where you have to be. It's perfect timing. He's not late ever on anything. Sometimes you just have so much congestion from the world and your spiritual eyes are closed that it takes certain people that he sends into your life to kind of help layer that stuff off, layer certain things off, and you're able to see clearly, or you're able to hear him clearly. So if you're someone that's struggling, I tell you, read the word. You know, sometimes people don't want to sit down and read a chapter a day, and you will start seeing him come alive and talk to you. And you will see that he loves you, and you're perfect the way that you are, and you're exactly where you need to be, and you're going to be so grateful where you are. You're going to be grateful for your neighbors, your friends, even your enemies, and you're going to pray for them, and you're going to wish the best for them. And when you see them doing good, you're going to bless them even more.